Good evening. It's a late one, people. I'm doing a video, so big up. Welcome to United Real Therapy. This is the preview for Manchester United versus West Ham. So let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. It's going to be a tough game. Tough game. I cannot stress this. This is going to be a test. West Ham, one of the best teams. They're outperforming themselves, and David Moyes is doing an amazing job. Now, saying that, David Moyes has found his level. Managing Man United and managing West Ham. Two totally different things. Two different kind of demands, different kind of fan base, different kind of expectations. Not to say that we have a lot of expectations, but we have a propaganda machine that hypes us up, people. You know what I mean? Any other time, finishing 6th or 7th or 5th, or even getting to the Champions League is a massive thing for West Ham. So at the end of the day, David Moyes has found his level. And I think the revisionist historians who are there going, David Moyes should have been given a job. He's never been a Man United manager, man. But he only became a Man United manager because of the bankers, because of the owners, and because of Fergie. You know what I mean? He's not. But we'll come into how his West Ham team play in a minute. But let's get into it. Let's see Man United. So obviously, in terms of the injuries and people that might be missing the game, definitely Victor Lindelof is definitely out. And I want to say, sending love and light to Victor Lindelof, his partner and their children, because his house, most of you know by now, his house was robbed on Wednesday night, and while his wife and children were in the house. I can only imagine how scary it is. So he's there as a husband, as a partner, looking after his kids and his wife. So sometimes there are more important things than football. So wish his family what could have been a very traumatic event. Wish him all well. I'm sure all of you will join me wishing him Victor Lindelof well. Eric Bailly, Paul Pogba, Luke Shaw, Bazaka, all of them are out. Ralph Ranić said Scott McTominay could be back. Yeah, you know what I mean? Scott McTominay could be back. So Thomas Souček and Kurt Zouma could feature. They've both been injured lately. And Said Barama might return from Algeria. Algeria got knocked out of the African nations. Yeah, Matt Noble is again set to be absent with a knee injury. So Matt Noble might not be available for this game. This is, if Man United have any ambitions, I don't think we'll play in top 4 team. We're on a form to finish top 4, but they are definitely West Ham, Spurs, and Arsenal are battling it out for that top 4. I don't think we're in that race. Call me negative, call me whatever you want, but we're not in that conversation because our football scattergun football is ridiculous type of football. We can't sustain 90 minutes. We never did it. I think only 2 games where I saw under Ollie, because we used to be called 45 minutes FC under Ollie's reign. And the only 2 performances in Ollie's time I can remember where we played amazing was the Sevilla away, Sevilla Europa League semi-final, and the League Cup Everton away. That was like complete performance where I was like blown away by everything. So they were the 2 games. So we're not very good, me personally. We're not going to finish. Unfortunately, I called it. I said we were out of the league. I called it early. You know what I mean? I keep calling these things early. I'm just one of those people. I know what I can see with my own eyes, and I can't see that. But nevertheless, tomorrow is going to be a massive test. Massive test for Man United. Massive test for Bottle Drop FC, and we're going to see how we're going to do tomorrow. Yeah, it's 2 points. If we beat them, it's only going to be 2 points. So we're going to be 2 points from West Ham. So it'll be on our side to beat them. We've got 1 game in hand over them. So can we beat them? We can just, go above them. If we beat, we beat Brentford, obviously, which was a massive 3 points. They've been pretty consistent, West Ham. They've been really consistent since the lockdown has helped David Moyes. I don't care what anybody said, because before that, the stadium was toxic, the fan base was toxic, and the energy between the players, the pressure that was on David Moyes. was huge. So the lockdown definitely helped them. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game. And obviously, we when we played them away on the Ole, we just about beat them when Jesse Lingard came on and scored a wonder goal in it, a wonder strike towards the end of the game. So yeah, we've played them like 51 times and they've won only 7. Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very difficult game. We already know we've got problems, more crazy news coming out. Leakage, Ronaldo apparently being scapegoated again. I never wanted Ronaldo because I thought Man United needed to sign a CDM and a creative midfielder, because I knew Paul Pogba was going to run his contract down and he needed to get the hell out of here. I don't think McTominay and Fred are good enough. Man United are not going to get anywhere with McFred. I'm telling you now, they're not. I look back to the last time, the caliber of midfield that we had, that we did the double Champions League, and the league was 2009, 2011. I remember I went to the game 8-2 Arsenal, and I remember I wrote a Facebook status where I stated Man United need to sign 2 midfield players for us to get back to the top. Unfortunately, Fergie didn't do it. Instead, he bought Van Persie, and we won the league because Fergie can just inspire teams to go and win league titles, and that's what he did. But that midfield is not good enough. I don't think that midfield is good enough to finish top 4, full stop. That they're not good enough. We haven't got a midfield that's good enough to finish top 4. Scott McTominay or Fred are not number 6s. We've been using them as number 6s for a long time. They're not number 6s. They're both number 8. Fred is a high pressing number 8. Scott McTominay's best position is a number 8. Number 8. That's what Scott McTominay's best position is. That's why he can affect the game in terms of up the pitch. He's on the edge of the area. He can have the snapshots. He's got a pretty good finish with his shots. He's in and around the box. He makes runs into the box, and that's what he's good at. I think the thing that we want as a number 8, I think Van der Beek is a level up. I personally think that Van der Beek is a better finisher, better technical player, better passer of the ball. But that's just me. What do I know, hey? And I'm genuinely hoping. I'm really hoping. I can't wait for the 1st of February or that night, the last day of January, 29th or the 20th January, that Van der Beek is finally free from the clutches of this football club and needs to get the hell out of here. That is what I want. That is what you want, and that is what I want, people. And this is what we need to do. Is let this brother leave. Set him free. Manchester United, because of the Glazonomics, we cage footballers. We cage footballers. We put high wages on some of these players, and then we cage them, like Martial. If you wanted to get rid of Maguire or Luke Shaw, no other is going to pay him the wages that we pay them. So that is what I'm talking about Glazonomics. Put them, that's what they said. They look at it as an asset. They other than get rid of, and then sign on the players that fit. Look how many players Pep Guardiola, Man City, the sporting director, the director of football, how many people they've said, all right, this defender not good enough, see you later. This other guy not good enough, see you later. This other player not good enough, see you later. That's what footballers do. It's no mass. There's a bit of science to it, but sometimes it works out. Especially with Man City, they've even got a system. Man United don't have a system, so we've got so many players from different managers, and we try to fit them together. But the biggest neglect of this football club, like Arsenal for years and years, to me, Arsenal will always struggle unless they get 2 absolute staunch, die-hard centre-halves in their defence that will stay fit and can play throughout the season. World-class centre-halves. Man United is the same. Man United, but it's in a different position. Unless we get the midfielders, Man United are never going to compete, never going to control games. We're going to be nearly men. That's what we're going to be, nearly club. But like I said, I always say to you guys, Therapy Army people, I always say to you, I'd rather get relegated to get rid of the bankers and the Glazers, because I can't see us going anywhere. And I'll say it again because I always say it. If Newcastle even go down but find a football structure, I can see them challenging for the league before we do. That is how much I can see. At the end of the day, it is what it is. The team's going to be very interesting, but I will go with De Gea. The lot played well. Telles against that player. Ooh, one of the most informed players of the league. right-sided. Bowen, what an absolute baller. West Ham play in a very interesting way, the way they play. They play actually a similar formation. They play 4-2-3-1. That's what they play. 4-3-2-1. That's what their formation is similar, but they play very narrow. Antonio comes short, and so then when he comes short, he holds up the ball. Then the midfield break. They set you a trap. They almost set like kind of mid-block. They rely on the fullbacks for their width because they're inverted two forwards. Go in. They go in. Bowen and the other guy, whoever it is, Benrahma or the other or the other Spanish, is it Spanish or Latin player? They go inside, and that's what happens. So they use their fullbacks. I think they're very much counter-attacking team. They play similar football to what Ollie was doing in terms of when we used to counter-attack Man United, counter-attack FC. This is what we used to be, but they're very efficient at it. Obviously, Suchek is going to be a big miss if he's not playing tomorrow. But obviously, Declan Rice being their best player, their captain this year. It's not going to be an easy game. I can see Antonio bullying them. They're very good in the challenge. They can be very aggressive in parts. Like I said, they set traps for you and then they go hard. Obviously, set pieces is a big thing for them. They've scored a lot of goals and beat big teams this season. They beat Chelsea. They beat Liverpool at their ground. I know that they're at home, but in the Olympic Stadium. But still, they have got the capability to go and win games. Like I said, they're a really consistent team. Obviously, last weekend they got beaten by Leeds, but I won't read too much into that. In terms of Ronaldo, had a knock, but he's in the squad, so Ronaldo most likely will play. For me, it wasn't a big issue. People making a big issue about Ronaldo, saying why didn't he want to come off. That's what people do. That's what people do at the end of the day. But I would like to see Sancho to come back in the team. I would rest Greenwood, me personally, because I think we're going to have to do some defensive work. I think Sancho will be better going backwards. So I'll keep Alanga on the pitch. I won't play Maguire, me personally. I'll play Jones. So my team would be De Gea, Delort, Jones. I know Luke Shaw is injured, so Telles, we're going to have to play Telles. And we'll play in midfield. I would personally play Donny van der Beek. I will play Donny van der Beek, Matic, and Bruno. That's who I'd play because we'll have more control in the middle of the midfield. They're not much possession team, but I think that would give us a better possession. And the three up front would be Ronaldo, Elanga on the left, Sancho on the right. That's my team that I'm going for, people. And I think if we play aggressive football, if we're lackadaisical, if we're not getting in people's faces, if we're not fighting for second balls, we can get found out. They've got match winners. And Bowen, for me, has been one of the best players in the Premier League this season. I know a lot of West Ham fans are angry at him because he missed a chance with his chest instead of heading it from 2 yards. But he's dangerous. And Telles, we already know. I remember it was the last season before when there was no crowd and when we beat them, Pogba scored that goal that night. Oh my God, he tore Telles apart. So I hope Telles has learned. And I hope that Sancho can play or Elanga can help him. And the other side as well. I think if you push their fullbacks back, you press them, you can play around them. You can play around. You can beat West Ham because they play very defensive. If we score first, they'll have to come out and we can hit them. But Therapy, I mean, sorry I wasn't here to do a longer video. Sorry, because I love doing the stream to get interacting with you guys. But big up. I'll be going to the game. I'll be back here hopefully with Saeed to do the match reaction. So peace, love, light, bankers out, glazers out. Always peace, love, always. Take care. 2-1, I'm hoping, praying. But we could get beat, people. It could be a draw. We could get beat.